The story begins by showing a girl named Darsa hiding in a terrifying and dark cave, holding a sniper and waiting for someone. Just then, we see an airport a few kilometers away from this cave where a plane lands. As soon as the president steps out of the aircraft, Darsa, who is positioned strategically, shoots and kills him with her sniper rifle. At this moment, we realize that this is no ordinary girl, but an exceptionally skilled and fierce sniper. She targets the president in such a way that the people around don't even realize who took the shot and from where it was fired. Anyway, after finishing her job, Darsa keeps the bullet cover with her. After this, Darsa goes to meet her mother at her grave because her mother is no longer in this world. But when she reaches the graveyard, she sees that her father is already sitting there. She attempts to initiate a conversation with him, but then Darsa's father discloses that he is fully aware of everything regarding his daughter being a sniper. He goes on to reveal that she has just taken a life. To this, Darsa responds by saying that sometimes she can't even sleep at night. And while saying this, she takes the bullet cover out of her pocket and hands it over to her father. He places this cover with the rest of the collected covers, and it is at this moment that we learn the dresser has killed many people before. Now, Darsa's father tells her about his cancer and says that he has very little time left and is only a guest for a few days. But if I don't die in the coming days, I will take my own life on this Valentine's Day. Hearing this, Darsa feels the ground slip from under her. Now she tries to stop her father from doing this, but he still tells her that this is their last meeting, and perhaps they will not meet again. On the other hand, we see a man referred to as Nam, who is troubled by his bad dreams. So he often sits by the sea and writes poems, and today he is sitting there too. Suddenly, he receives a message asking him to come to a specific address. As soon as he reads the message, he immediately takes his car and leaves for the address. When he enters the house, he meets a lady. From their conversation, we learn that he used to be a sniper in the military. However, he has now retired from his service and spends most of his time at home. This change in his lifestyle is quite significant, as he has transitioned from the high-stakes life of a sniper to a more peaceful and quiet existence at home. Sarah talks to him and assigns him a new mission, saying that she wants to send him to another place because he is a very good sniper, and only he can do this job. She also asks Levi if there is anyone in his family who would miss him after he leaves, because he might never meet them again. Hearing this, Levi thinks for a moment and says there's no one like that in his family, and he lives alone. After this, she says all the information about the mission will be given later. Then he is knocked unconscious, and when he opens his eyes, he finds himself on a plane. But he still didn't know which country he was being taken to for the mission. So when he tries to ask the people on the plane about it, everyone ignores him. However, a pilot comes over and tells him that his destination has arrived and that they are going to land him here. She also tells him that to reach his destination, he will have to walk at least 32 kilometers from here. Only then will he reach the place where he has to carry out this mission. After saying this, she gives Levi a parachute, which he wears and jumps down onto the snow from the plane, and then slowly starts moving forward. 2 days pass as Levi walks, and after those 2 days, he finally reaches his destination. It is here that he first meets a man named JD, who then takes him to a watchtower and informs him that he will be working there for the next year. I have also worked here for a year, but now my time is up, and I must move on. Therefore, this work has been assigned to you. However, he still didn't understand what exactly he was supposed to do. When he asks JD this question, JD responds by telling him that there is a very deep chasm located here, which has been given the name George. Levi's job is to guard this chasm and do nothing else. Then JD explains the rules to Levi, saying that he can only contact people once a month, and that his tower is called the West Tower, while there is also an Eastern Tower on the other side. But Levi is not to have any kind of conversation with the people there, because his job is to focus only on his mission, and the people in the Eastern Tower also focus only on their mission. JD also informs Levi that he is not allowed to contact anyone for an entire year, and that there is an automatic gun present, which Levi will have to reload on a daily basis. If there are no bullets in it, there are also many mines below. If there is any kind of explosion in them, Levi will have to check them too. However, Levi still didn't understand what his mission was. So he goes ahead and asks JD if his job responsibility is to prevent people from going near George. To this, JD says no, we need to stop whatever is inside George from coming up. Then he picks up a small bomb and throws it into the gorge, that is, into George. As soon as the explosion happens, a very scary and strange sound is heard coming from the chasm, which sounded like a monster. It is at this moment that we learn the true reality of this mysterious chasm. There is not something small or trivial inside it, but something extremely terrifying is hidden. After this, JD tells Levi that the things hidden inside George are called Hellions, and he must stop them from coming up at any cost. It is said that in 1940, 3 battalions of the army went down to stop Annie Halloween, but they never came back. He also tells you about a stray dog alarm, saying that the day this alarm starts ringing, you should just run away from here to save your life without thinking. Although I don't know why it was said, I'm just telling you what I know. At that moment, both of them notice the tower in front, where a new officer had been appointed because the previous officer had completed 1 year. Now, while telling JD about food and drink, Levi says that his 1-year food supply has been arranged here. If he wants, he can also hunt. JD also reveals to Levi that this place has been a well-kept secret for 75 years, and no one knows about it. He emphasizes that we have to keep it a secret in the future as well, ensuring that it remains undiscovered. After saying this, JD leaves the room and goes outside. As soon as he lights up a smoke to signal, a helicopter comes to pick him up, and JD quickly gets on it. But the officer in the helicopter first asks for his identity, and then shoots him, killing him instantly. This tells us that this place is so secretive that no one is allowed to leave under any circumstances. Here, we see someone doing exactly as they were told. He loads bullets into the automatic gun and starts surveying the surroundings. After an entire month passes, he makes an effort to reach out to someone from here and informs them that he hasn't come across any enemies. After saying this, he cuts the call because he was only allowed to say this much, and he has to send this message only once a month. After this, he starts reading the books kept in the cupboard, and then he notices some messages written on the wall by the people who lived here according to their experiences. After reading them, Levi goes outside and attempts to look at the other tower with the help of a telescope. Through the lens, he sees a girl sitting there who is none other than Darsa. Captivated by Darsa's beauty, Levi keeps looking at her but refrains from trying to talk to her because he was forbidden to contact the other watchtower. In this way, 2 to 3 months pass here, and she had already come to know about him. So, one day on his birthday, she decides to talk to him. She writes on a piece of paper to ask his name, hoping to finally learn more about him. Seeing this, he also picks up a note and tells Darsa not to talk to him, but Darsa still tells him her name. Without thinking much, he writes his name down, and thus they become friends. One day, when Levi finds out that Darsa is a sniper, he tests her by aiming at her belongings, after which Darsa picks up her sniper to prove herself and aims at his watchtower. But then she notices some monsters coming out of the ravine. She quickly signals to Levi to try to tell him this, after which he starts firing at the monsters. However, there were too many of them, so someone else also helps and eliminates the monsters from the watchtower. But during this time, a monster reaches her, which looked like it was half human and half animal. When she sees it, she tries to shoot it in a desperate attempt to save her life, but it doesn't work, and the monster keeps advancing towards her with relentless determination. But at the right moment, he takes aim, shoots, and kills it, ultimately saving Darsa. The next day, Levi ventures inside the mines. While exploring, a small drone suddenly emerges and swiftly flies away. But before it leaves, both Levi and Darsa manage to catch a glimpse of it. However, they still don't know what it is. In this way, a few more months pass for them here. And now the month of December had begun, marking a time when one day Levi decides to meet Darsa. He ties a rope to the place in his RPG where the missile is loaded, preparing for what lies ahead. Darsa sees him doing this, but she doesn't quite understand what Levi intends to do. Meanwhile, Levi releases the missile to the other side, which was tied with a rope, and this rope reaches Darsa. After that, she ties it to one place, and then, with the help of Levi's, reaches the other watchtower from here. When Darsa sees him, she is very happy and overjoyed, but before hugging Levi, she tells him to take a bath. She then watches him bathe with the help of CCTV cameras, ensuring he is clean before they embrace. After this, they talk a lot, and during this time, Darsa asks Levi, "When did you take the longest shot?" To this, Levi replies, "I killed a man from 3,240 meters away, and I used to work in the Marines." Then he asks her, "What is it about this place that makes it so secret?" Darsa tells him not to think too much and to mind his own business. She also tells him about her father, who might be dead by now. After this, she starts playing music and invites Levi to dance with her. They begin to dance together, moving in sync and coming very close to each other, crossing all boundaries. During this time, Levi starts telling Darsa about his poems and says, "I have written a poem for you too." Hearing this, Darsa asks him to recite the poem, but Levi refuses, saying, "When we get out of here, I'll give you the poem." The next morning, he decides to leave, but as soon as he reaches halfway, he sees monsters climbing the watchtower. He stops in his tracks, realizing the danger that lies ahead. When they hit the mines on the tower, there is a huge explosion, which burns Levi's rope, and he falls into the chasm. Darsa sees all this, so to save Levi, she quickly grabs a parachute and jumps into the chasm without thinking. After that, we see Darsa floating in a river that was inside the chasm. Somehow, she saves herself and reaches the shore. There, we see Levi hanging from a tree, when suddenly a huge crab comes out of nowhere and attacks him ferociously. Because of this, Levi falls from the tree and the roots of the tree completely entangle him. Before it can harm Levi, Darsa comes and saves him, and they both start looking around the place. Just then, some hollow men come riding on horses and launch an attack on them. However, instead of being scared, they fight back bravely and manage to kill 2 hollow men. Unfortunately, one hollow man manages to escape. When Ether Levi goes to check on the hollow man he killed, he notices that it is wearing a uniform. Seeing the uniform, he remembers what JD had told him, that years ago, 3 battalions of the army fell into this chasm and never returned. But how are they still alive? This question forces him to think. Anyway, now they both move forward and reach a place where trees are growing out of humans. Seeing this, it seems like some virus has spread its terror here. Levi and Darsa are still looking at this horrifying scene when some hollow men start coming towards them, and to escape, they both reach a church. But the sight inside the church was extremely terrifying because there were many dead bodies of people who had taken their own lives to escape the wrath of the virus. Just then, a spider attacks Darsa, which was quite large in appearance. It seemed like the virus had affected the mind too, and as soon as it attacks them, they both shoot it and end it right there. But then some hollow men break the door and come in. Seeing them, Levi and Darsa quickly run out of the church and reach a tunnel built between the mountains. After closing the door and looking inside the tunnel, they see a kind of lab where experiments were once conducted. Here they find a backup generator, which they start. A DVD player is available here. When they play the cassette in the DVD player, a lady appears on the screen talking about her secret mission related to this place. She also says that they were making a chemical missile here, with many people working together. But one day, when an earthquake struck this place, the missile we had prepared started leaking due to the earthquake, and thus the chemicals spread around. Because of this, many people got infected, and I am also infected. Although they had informed the military and suggested bombing the place to destroy it so the chemical wouldn't spread outside, the military didn't pay attention to their words. After listening to this lady, Levi and Darsa understand everything. So they try to learn more about the tunnel and then come across a new age computer, which was quite strange and unexpected. So they decide to turn on the computer, and seeing the information in it, they are completely shocked because it reveals information about a company called Dark Lab, which works on creating paramilitary forces. They take samples from infected people here and use them to turn their soldiers into super soldiers. That's why no country wants to completely destroy this place. Sadie also finds out that this trench is 4.2 kilometers long. After this, as soon as the two of them come out of here, suddenly a hollow man attacks them and ties Dressa with a rope and drags her away with him. Although she tries her best to cut the rope, it ultimately doesn't help at all. Meanwhile, Levi also keeps wandering around looking for her and reaches a place where there was a very large missile. There we see Dressa hanging, and the person she asks to release her is standing right in front of her, looking directly at her. But when he doesn't listen to her, she somehow manages to free her hands and then attacks him. The fight between the two continues for quite some time. Just then, someone arrives and shoots the hollow man, saving the day. But when he sees the name on the uniform, he realizes that this was the first person to guard the watchtower, who later became infected. So the two of them decide to leave from here and get inside the car standing there. They put in a new battery and tie it with a rope. As the car starts to go up the hill, suddenly many hollow men appear and begin to attack them. But the two of them use their sniper rifles to kill many of the hollow men. However, at one point when they run out of bullets, they decide to set the hollow men on fire. They push the car down a hill and then somehow manage to reach the eastern tower. But they are afraid that one of them might be infected. So the next day, using a rope, he reaches his watchtower. From there, she contacts and asks if you went inside George. He denies it. Hearing this, she says it's possible an officer from another tower went to George because someone started our computer. So now you have to kill him. However, Bartho had already seen in the CCTV footage that both of them had gone inside George, but she does not reveal this in front of Levi. Instead, she comes here herself the next day. But Levi and the others see her helicopter and realize that she has come here to kill them. So they quickly run towards the forest. They knew that after crossing 4.2 kilometers, the ravine would meet, and then he could meet Darsa. So he attacks the watchtower's antenna, and the alarm starts ringing. In the next 2 minutes, stray dog mode will activate, and this place will self-destruct. She knew this very well, so she starts to flee with the helicopter, understanding the urgency of the situation. Meanwhile, Darsa also starts running. After a duration of 2 minutes, the missile inside George detonates, and as a result, everyone perishes due to the devastating blast. Bartho's helicopter also gets caught in this explosion, which is why she also dies. Levi falls into the water, but Darsa survives and waits for him at a place. Many days pass by, but there is still no sign of Levi. So she opens and reads the poem he wrote, No. And then she starts her new life and begins working in a restaurant. But then suddenly one day he comes there, and seeing him, Darsa becomes very happy, and then they kiss each other. And with this, the story ends here. So friends, what if you were in this story instead of Darsa? Would you have done something different and given the baby? Let us know by commenting. If you liked the video, like and share it. Subscribe to our channel Film, and press the bell icon. See you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.